Guys, I just wanted to get on here and do a video about finding a really good breeder when you're thinking about getting a puppy. This is something that I had to do a lot of research on, and I thought I would share some things that I had learned through all my research and kind of save you the trouble if that's what you're into right now and you're trying to find a good breeder for either a Rottweiler or whatever kind of breed of dogs that you are interested in buying. Because there's lots of scammers out there, and you have to be very careful because um, if you go to the wrong one, or if you try to be like cheap with your puppy, then you can actually be paying a lot more money in the long run. So you have to be extra careful, especially if you're going to be spending a lot of money on these dogs. Um, so I'm going to go over this questionnaire that I had printed out. I actually came up with this myself because I was in touch with a lot of different breeders. So I wanted to have something handy that I could just look at and write down their answers. Okay, so I'm going to go through some of these questions and speak a little bit about each one. The first question I had on here was about the actual breeder. Ask them how long they've been breeding their Rottweilers or the specific breed that you're going after, just so you know how much experience they have. The next category is about the parents. What are their bloodlines? They should have all that information ready for you or on their website. What paperwork do the parents have that can be shown? So, obviously, if you're getting AKC registered puppies, they're going to have the parents' AKC registration number and all that paperwork for them. So, make sure you ask that, especially if you want an AKC registered puppy. Um, Ask them if they have any health or genetic tests that's been performed on the parents to make sure there's no genetic diseases common to the breed. These are just some of the diseases that Rottweilers that I had looked up that Rottweilers had. Hip dysplasia, eye diseases, and heart conditions. Um, like our puppy, she came with a 2-year guarantee for hip dysplasia. And she went and got a health certificate for the eye and heart conditions. But make sure you ask them that because you don't want to get a puppy that hasn't been had tests done for that, or if the parents have had the genetics tests and everything. So make sure you ask something like that and look up the specific breed that you have so that you can see what kind of diseases are common to that breed. Okay, the next one is how many litters have the mother had? You don't want a dog that's bred multiple times. I would say 2 or 3 times at the most is what I had read. Um, because the more litters, obviously, that they're going to have more problems. So make sure you ask how many litters that mother has had. Of course, another big thing about the parents, you getting to meet them, is you'll be able to see what your puppy will look like when it gets older. So that's another thing. So the next one will be about the actual puppies. What is the process of buying the puppy? A lot of breeders have contracts. Like we had a large contract that we had to sign when we bought our dog. And we also had deposit that we had to make. So you have to ask about the deposit for them to be able to even hold you a puppy. So there is a process with buying each puppy, and some breeders are different. The next one is, are the tails docked? Especially with Rottweilers, some come with docked tails, some don't. It depends on the breeder. Some breeders will take requests. So that's an important question, especially for us, because I mean, Rottweilers come with tails or they come with dock tails. So it depends on your preference, and that's something very important that you need to ask the breeder before you make a decision to purchase their puppy. What paperwork comes with the puppy? It was really important for us, especially to have AKC registered. We wanted a health certificate, which we did get. She had her first shots when we got her, and she was dewormed, and they had the Orthopedic Foundation for Animals certified, so they were checked for their hip. And she was not microchipped, but that is something that we actually got after we brought her home the next day. In the family tree, we got that with our AKC registration. So we ended up getting all these pretty much. So you have to just make a preference list of what you need to come with your puppy. So the next one is there a contract and what restrictions are there and what is included? Like I said before, a lot of the breeders have you signing a contract when you pick up the puppy. They do have restrictions, like our puppy. We can't breed her until we get the full registration, and we have to pay for that. So you will have limitations on with certain breeders. We have the health guarantee. We did have that for 2 years, and if it's not AKC registered, it must be included that the puppy is able to be registered. But ours was already ready to be registered. She already had her number. So make sure you ask these things if that is important to you. Okay, so the next is the date of the litter and the take-home dates. So you want to know when you'll be able to take your little baby home. So that's another good question. The reason why I had these last is because I think before you should be asking about their puppies, you should be asking all these other important questions before. A lot of people the first thing they ask is, how much is it? And they don't really do the research on the breeder first, which you should, because you can end up getting scammed or get a sick puppy or anything. So that's why I have, all these at the end of my list, because they're not as important as the other questions. But anyways, yeah, you want to ask the price, because we got a female deposit price and an early deposit for the first pick. We actually did get the first pick of the litter, which was about $500 more. So if that's important to you, that's something you need to ask. And how are the puppies socialized? A lot of breeders do socialize their puppies so that like with kids or animals, or there's different ways. It's good to have your puppy socialized even before you bring it home. And if you do provide updates and pictures by request, our breeder actually did. We got videos each week of our puppy growing up, which was really nice because we had to wait pretty much 2 months to get her. Like, I think when I got in touch with the breeder, she was actually delivering Roxy. So we had to wait the whole haul to be able to bring her home. So the pictures and videos actually helped a lot, because you're really anxious to bring your puppy home. And, getting a picture or video here, it helps you, be a little bit more patient. So anyways, that's all I have. Like I said, if you wanted this list, I can send it to you, or I can post it. Just comment. But these are the most important questions that I had. We spent a lot of money on our dog, so I wanted to make sure I did all of my research about it. And we ended up with a great puppy. She's beautiful and perfect. So, and the breeder we got, she checked off all the boxes for us, and it was perfect. So I think this is very important. It's a lot of people skip this step, and I think it's actually the most important. So, anyways, if you like this content, please support our channel by subscribing and liking this video. And I'll try to get more content out. All right. Thank you guys. Bye.